I'll tell you what, I've been a musician for 34 years, and for 34 years I heard musicians complain about pop music. Oh God, it has the same four chords over again. The same four chords for the verse is the same four chords for the chorus. But here's the thing, blues only has three chords. Another good thing about the blues is it is an essential ingredient in all of American music. It not only directly addresses the artist's perspective, it also addresses the audience member's perspective. And why, you ask? It's because we're dealing with feeling, we're dealing with emotion, we're dealing with vibes. Drake has become one of the leading pop artists in the world. And he said once in an interview, whenever he writes a song, he thinks about the vibe first. He thinks about the feeling of the song first. And same with the blues. When you play a phrase in the blues, if you're not all in on it, it just doesn't work. I'm not knocking anybody's channel. I love very many saxophone channels out there. Most of them talk about enclosures, talk about different techniques, talk about scale patterns, but not many talk about how to connect with an audience. The art of storytelling. They also rarely address the audience's perspective. They are the ones who are buying the tickets, and they are the ones who we're playing for, so they should be revered and honored. Now here's the thing. If I call a plumber to come fix my sink, I don't give a crap about his vice grips. I don't care about his plunger. I just want the sink to be fixed. Same thing with most audience members. Unless you're playing for only musicians, they don't care about scales. They don't care about what type of enclosures you're doing. They don't care about your percutty thirds. They don't care about augmented triads and dyads. What they care about is what they're receiving. They care about the feeling they're feeling. They care about the journey you're taking them on. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for theory. I'm all for learning more colors in order to tell our story. But I personally feel story needs to be paramount. The message needs to be the first focus. And then you get the tools you need in order to tell that story. I studied jazz for most of my life. And I tell you, in most bands, if the audience does not get it, we blame the audience. We blame the audience members for not realizing our brilliance. We blame the audience members for not understanding John Coltrane's Giant Step sequence. We blame the audience for not being able to appreciate the super fast version of Cherokee. So it brings us down to another fundamental principle. Know your audience. Are you playing a restaurant? Are you playing in a cathedral? Are you playing at a rock concert? Are you playing in a sports bar? Well, personally speaking, the one thing I like about all this is you can use the blues in all those scenarios. Because all music is based on the blues. For this reason, I really love and respect Miles Davis. He's someone who embraced the current styles of the time and meshed them inside his own form of music. Like, for instance, on his album Bitches Brew. He's able to create a new type of music which infused bebop and all that jazz knowledge with the grooves and vibes of Sly and Family Stone, Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles, yada, yada, yada. He even played a Cyndi Lauper cover. What's the moral of the story? I really recommend finding something that everybody can relate to. And what's one thing that everybody can relate to? The blues. Everybody in the whole world can relate to the blues. Everybody understands it. Everybody in the whole world feels vibes, they understand soul, and they have these feelings. If you can address these feelings, then you can address the people. Use the blues.